Hi, I'm Robert Soares, founder and writer at GaySpinster.com, a blog that chronicles the adventures of a 20-something gay man who can't seem to get it together in love and life. My experience working into the LGBT community when I was younger was not exactly a breakthrough. It was more of like a breaking out. I didn't really understand what the community was about because I was a little teenager from Chandler, Arizona, which is just a bunch of rich kids, and I wasn't close to anything urban or near any major cities really. I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere, so really my experience was very limited, and there weren't a lot of gay people. There was about 4 or 5 that I could have picked out, some of which, you know, I don't know, said anything about it, but it was difficult trying to find someone else that understood the things that I was going through. So it wasn't until I was around 20 that I could really start to make friends. When I was in college and started going to school downtown Phoenix, I started meeting more gay friends. The Phoenix LGBT atmosphere had its own personality. Phoenix itself is a progressive city. Arizona, maybe not so much sometimes. We just had to strike down SB 1062 just to give you an idea. But the city of Phoenix itself is great. Mayor Stanton is very supportive of LGBT rights. But the type of LGBT community we have in Phoenix is very, it's very hipster, I guess I could say. It's very underground. The music scene here is it's more about underground venues and more, it's kind of a gritty scene. It's definitely not something that you would see in Scottsdale, for instance, or anywhere on the East Coast, I think. But I think that ours is very into the arts. We're very artsy and in the most down-to-earth way. It's funny thinking about myself when I was younger, just a couple years ago, to where I am now. Going from having not a single gay friend to having lots of gay friends. And it's really one of those things when you are out in the community and you're getting older and you're more comfortable with who you are and you're more comfortable with being yourself. You are experiencing new things and meeting new people. And I think that's one of the greatest things, is reflecting back and saying, wow, I've come a long way in terms of accepting who I am and moving forward and always being surrounded by cool people. It's funny because a lot of the freshmen that I've been meeting this semester, this past year, they're way more mature than I was as a kid. I don't know if that's just a 4-year generational thing as a senior in college right now. But it's funny, I don't feel like I have to give too much advice because they seem so grown up already. I don't know what it is, but I do let them know that I know peer pressure is kind of a cliche, but it's something very easy to fall into, especially your freshman year when you're exposed to new people, so you're not living at home anymore, and you're living on your own. Always have a good head on your shoulders, and all about having fun, and there's a perception sometimes that the young gay guys get themselves into way too much trouble, and they're at the party scene doing ecstasy and doing crazy things, which is sometimes people are doing that, but it's not because of that. I want kids to be able to just experience life, be safe, and not make choices that they'll regret later. But also always being open to trying new things and not live sheltered and be afraid of getting out there. Be out there, but just don't do anything that's stupid. Don't do drugs. No, honestly, I would say never be afraid to be out there. I didn't start actually having new friends until I was around 20, 21, so I kind of lost out on building those relationships and learning more about myself when I was younger, and maybe just, again, it's a generational thing. 4 years ago when I was in high school, there weren't as many people out, and today there are. So I think just embracing what's around you while you're young and getting all those experiences and just living life to the fullest, this is your time now. You want to enjoy your early 20s. You want to enjoy the rest of your teen years. Because the older you get, the more you realize how many things that you could have done. You don't want to learn things too late in life. So always be out there, always embrace your challenges, always be ready to take on new things.